In the first video in this playlist, we covered the equipment needed to live stream the Mass to Facebook or YouTube. In this video, we will discuss how to download and set up Open Broadcaster software with your audio and video equipment and construct scenes for the order of the Mass. We will begin by downloading OBS Studio from their website. Simply type obsproject.com and choose the download based on your operating system. Once the download is complete, click on the executable file in the lower left-hand corner of your browser. After completing the installation, OBS should launch automatically. The auto configuration wizard will open. Go ahead and click Cancel. We will use this for setup later. This is the OBS Studio interface. Before we begin setting it up, let's look at one that's already been set up for the Mass. Anything that you broadcast to your audience is through a scene. This is similar in concept to a PowerPoint slide. Each scene is constructed of sources that include your audio input, video feed, graphics, text, anything that you want to present to your audience. In studio mode, there are two screens. When you click on a scene, it will be displayed in the preview screen. This allows you to choose a prepared scene before it is broadcast to your audience. The scene in the preview screen is broadcast by clicking on a transition, placing the scene in the right window, and presenting it to your audience. The scenes should be organized chronologically to follow the order of the Mass. As your broadcast progresses, clicking on scenes will display them in the preview window. When you transition new scenes to the live window, the replaced scene will automatically be swapped and displayed in the preview window. The audio mixer will illuminate in reference to the level of the volume. It will display double volume meters for stereo input and single for a mono input. There are two basic controls that you will use: start or stop streaming of the broadcast, and start or stop recording if you wish to record the broadcast to your computer. Now that we are familiar with the structure and functionality of OBS, we'll set it up from scratch. We will use one scene to add audio from the USB audio mixer and video from both web cameras. Then subsequent scenes will be created by duplicating the initial scene with the audio, video, and other recurring elements. We will add the USB audio mixer by clicking on the plus sign. In the menu, select Audio Input Capture. In the Create New field, enter a descriptive name. In the Device pull-down menu, select Line USB Audio Codec. The device will display in the audio mixer panel, and the meter will illuminate, displaying the strength of the volume. Adding the web camera is a similar process. Click on the plus sign and select Video Capture Device. Enter a descriptive name for the camera and press Enter. The Properties box for the device will open and the video feed will appear. Next, choose Custom from the Resolution FPS type field. In the Resolution field, choose 1920 by 1080. Press OK and the video feed will fill the screen in a 16 by 9 format. Follow the same process for the second camera. Now that both cameras are set up, resize them to view the separate video feeds. We will now duplicate the original scene twice to create a scene for each camera. Give each scene a descriptive name to signify the position and purpose of the camera. Go to each scene and delete the camera that is not needed for the scene. We will now add a graphic as a logo watermark that will appear in the lower right-hand corner of every scene. Using the first scene, click on the plus sign and select Image. Enter a descriptive name for the image and choose a file from your computer. Resize and position the graphic. Copy the graphic and go to each scene and paste. Selecting Paste Reference will place the graphic in the exact location from where it was copied. We will now begin constructing scenes that will follow the order of the Mass. The first will be a pre-service scene that will be displayed to the audience prior to the commencement of the Mass. This opening scene will only need an image and background music. It is important to note that this pre-service image with descriptive text can serve as a very good thumbnail image for Facebook or YouTube. An audio file such as an MP3 can be used as background music, using the media source selection. Add a title using the text GDL selection. In the properties, select the color and background. These properties may not be visible and may require scrolling down to find them. Using the up arrow at the bottom of the scenes box, move the scene to the top, since it will be the first in the chronological order of the mass. It is a good idea to keep the original scene where the audio and video were initially added. Rename and place at the end of the selection list in the scenes box. Duplicate the master to set up a new scene for the first reading. The reading can be inserted as an image file such as a JPEG or PNG. If you don't have experience with photo editing software, you can use a program such as Microsoft PowerPoint by saving a slide as an image. To make the video feed from the AMBO camera appear, go to the source box and use the up arrow until it is above the first reading. Then position and resize the camera. Duplicate the first reading scene using it for the second reading and the Gospel. All that is required is to change the image displaying the liturgy. For the responsorial psalm, an image file can be used that resembles the lower thirds format. When you are ready to go live, obtain a persistent stream key from Facebook. This type of stream key will avoid you having to run the setup every time you broadcast. We will begin by launching the auto configuration wizard from the tools menu. Most of the needed settings should be preset. If needed, choose optimize for streaming and click next. The base canvas should be set at 1920 by 1080. The FPS stands for frames per second. It should be set to either 60 or 30, but prefer 60 when possible. Select Facebook Live from the service field. In the stream information section, click on Get Stream Key. This will automatically launch Facebook to the Get Started page. Make sure that the Use a Persistent Stream Key option is selected and copy the stream key. Once the stream key is set in OBS, your video feed will show in the black screen in the lower right hand corner. Go back to OBS and paste the stream key and click Next. You will receive a stream warning dialog box. Click Yes to run a bandwidth test. This test may take several minutes. Once the bandwidth test is complete, click on Apply Settings. Click Start Streaming and you will notice the broadcast status indicator has turned green. Return to Facebook and your video feed will display in a small screen in the lower right hand corner. When you are ready to broadcast, click on Go Live. It is important to note that the stream key should not be shared. Anyone with your stream key will be able to stream video to your Facebook page. Please subscribe and click on the notifications so you can get additional instruction as soon as it's published.